Welcome everyone to Thoughtful Quotes. Please do watch Did You Know section at the end for some interesting facts. To cheat oneself out of love is the most terrible deception. It is an eternal loss, for which there is no reparation, either in time or in eternity. Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. The function of prayer is not to influence God, but rather to change the nature of the one who prays. People demand freedom of speech as a compensation for the freedom of thought, which they seldom use. There are two ways to be fooled. One is to believe what isn't true, the other is to refuse to believe what is true. The most painful state of being is remembering the future, particularly the one you'll never have. Love is the expression of the one who loves, not of the one who is loved. Those who think they can love only the people they prefer do not love at all. Love discovers truths about individuals that others cannot see. The tyrant dies and his rule is over, the martyr dies, and his rule begins. God creates out of nothing. Wonderfully you say. Yes, to be sure, but he does what is still more wonderful, he makes saints out of sinners. The highest and most beautiful things in life are not to be heard about, nor read about, nor seen, but, if one will, are to be lived. Many of us pursue pleasure with such breathless haste that we hurry past it. How absurd men are! They never use the liberties they have, they demand those they do not have. They have freedom of thought, they demand freedom of speech. It is the duty of the human understanding to understand that there are things which it cannot understand. The self-assured believer is a greater sinner in the eyes of God than the troubled disbeliever. Listen to the cry of a woman in labor at the hour of giving birth. Look at the dying man's struggle at his last extremity, and then tell me whether something that begins and ends thus could be intended for enjoyment. Why bother remembering a past that cannot be made into a present? On the secretly blushing cheek is reflected the glow of the heart. Once you are born in this world, you're old enough to die. A no does not hide anything, but a yes very easily becomes a deception. Therefore do not deceive yourself. Of all deceivers fear most yourself. The present state of the world and the whole of life is diseased. If I were a doctor and were asked for my advice, I should reply, create silence. Adversity draws men together and produces beauty and harmony in life's relationships, just as the cold of winter produces ice flowers on the window panes, which vanish with the warmth. My melancholy is the most faithful mistress I have known. What wonder, then, that I love her in return. Believe a woman, you will regret it. Believe her not, you will also regret it. When two people fall in love, and suspect they are made for each other. The thing is to have the courage to break it off, for by continuing, they have everything to lose, and nothing to gain. If you have liked the efforts, please like, share and subscribe, it really means a lot.